Buenos días, buenas tardes, y buenas noches, bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. J. Slater case. Just a short video to kick off this Monday, July the 27th. And the tossometer that measures how much of a toss the likes of Ivor Lovelace and the accident group in general um, that we can see out there is registering very, very high. I've had to readjust the scale on the tossometer because it is very clear that the AG and Ivor Lovelace in particular really do give a toss. Massive amounts of toss, it would seem, when we're talking about this recent development that it would seem in May of this year that Steven Rockass, as in he that was in Tenerife at the time Jay Slater disappeared, um, was in court in Wood Green, North London, and it would seem that the offence that he's charged with is of sexual nature. Um, so the question is very simple. Well, there are several questions attached to this, but the essential question is, does the accident group believe that this information is accurate and genuine? Now, this is absolutely key for an obvious reason. To the sane of this world, to the honest of this world, it is apparent that that information about Steven Rockass being in court on those charges is genuine. I mean, it looks authentic, and it comes from a place called Open Court Data UK. That's the site, Open Court Data UK. Now then, Ivor Lovelace decided that he would not accept the data, the court info on Steven Rockass as authentic, that his line of argument would be that Steven Rockass never was in court in Wood Green or anywhere in May. There are no charges. He's not in any trouble with the law because, as a good buddy of Ivor Lovelace, Steven must be innocent. That is Ivor's line. He's basically come out and said that site, Open Court Data UK, is bogus. It is not genuine. Now, it's strange because the accident group in general absolutely love to turn to AI to prove something or disprove something. And I think this is a good example where using AI at least will give you some kind of indication whether Open Court Data UK is real or not. And so I think we can all do this. If you just type in your Google search or whatever search you use, is Open Court Data UK an authentic site? Is it a real site? Is it a genuine site? I mean, the answer keeps coming back, yes, it is, yes, it is, yes, it is. It's a compilation of court records from across the UK. Now, does it have some malware in that site? Yeah, I've noticed that too. But that doesn't mean the site is illegitimate. So, this is important because if it can be shown that Ivor Lovelace, Lord Lugworm, the Slugster, El Slugtardo, if it can be shown that he's making up shite about this, that he's lying about it, he's fabricating nonsense because he just can't admit the truth about the Steven Rockass court scenario, if that is apparent to the world, then obviously we ask ourselves, and the AG have to start asking themselves, if Luggy has got this so very, very wrong, what else did he get totally wrong in, for example, the Jay Slater case? This is where we see there should be consistent thought patterns within the accident group. I'll repeat it. If Luggy's got this wrong, and it's basic, either Open Court Data UK is a reliable site or it isn't, either it's genuine or it isn't, either it's a real site or it isn't. If Luggy, in saying it is all bogus, has got it wrong, then the natural thing to ask is, how many other things has Lord Lugworm got, Ivor Lovelace got, that it's totally, totally wrong, that he's lying about, he's fabricating, he's deflecting? That's the key question. So I wrote on Laurie's site. Now, Laurie came out and said, Steven Rockass, innocent till proven guilty. Well, hello, Laurie. That seems to indicate, if you're saying Steven Rockass innocent till proven guilty, that you do assume Open Court Data UK is genuine. Because if you're already thinking better treat Steven Rockass innocent until proven guilty, to me it indicates, Laurie, that you're thinking that information is true. You don't seem to be fully behind Sluggy's "this is all bogus" information. But I put the question to you on your own site, Laurie, but I've got a feeling that I'm blocked. So anyone that goes to Thomas Wilson's YouTube channel, that seems to be still open to anyone and everyone, because when I comment there, I get reactions. So I'm pretty sure that I'm allowed there. I think everyone is allowed on Thomas Wilson's channel. So what did I write there? Here's what I wrote, looking for the AG to step forward and answer this. I asked, when you ask AI if Open Court Data UK is a legitimate website, what answer does AI give you? I can tell you the answer. It says yes, it is. And do you believe that answer? Sluggy, Jugglers, and Melissa Rainbow all say that it's a bogus fake site. Are they right, Accident Group? Are they right? And when you look at the info, do you think Steven Rockass is being charged with a crime? It gives you some basic details on that site, yes. Do you think, Accident Group, when you look at that information, that it looks like Steven Rockass is being charged with a crime? Yes or no? And if so, does that increase or decrease the likelihood that there is criminality here in the background to the J. Slater case? My argument has always been that when you have a young man, middle of the night, early morning, going off on his own to a mountain retreat with two people that have some serious criminal convictions behind them, that it increases the chances that there is criminality involved in the boy's disappearance and death. With this latest charge, that to me seems genuine, Steven Rockass in court yet again for the umpteenth time, to me it increases the level of criminality. For the sake of argument, let us assume that these charges are based on truth, that there is a victim here. I would say that that increases the level of criminality and therefore increase the chances that criminality is in the background of the Jay Slater case, because a key member that saw Jay in his very last hours and was with Jay in his very last hours is back in court again. And I say, let's see if we get honest, specific answers, or if we get a lorry long essay that avoids clear, precise answers. So, it's very simple. If you are honest and you are not afraid to deal with the tough questions, Accident Group, let's hear what you say. Open Court Data UK, Janie 180. Does that look like a genuine website to you? Gonzalez, what do you think? Look at the site, look at the information. Does it look genuine to you? Yes or no? Or are you backing Sluggy as always and saying it's fake? Pope Christophers, Thomas Wilson, Kay, all of you in the Accident Group, Bea Lafaya, Beamondo, Bumblebeat. What do you see? When you look at that and you look at the AI answer, is it a genuine site? What do you see? It is, for the Accident Group, make your mind up time. Has Sluggy got this right, that Open Court Data UK site is all totally bogus and we should dismiss it because Steven Rockass never did anything wrong? He's not in any court hearing. He was never in any court hearing in Wood Green in May. Is that what you're saying, Kaz? Or are you going to have the guts, finally, AG, to step up and say, Sluggy's got this wrong? I predict what we will see is the vast majority of the Action Group will stay silent. They won't mention this. They won't get into it. A few nutcases, like I say, Jugglers and Melissa have already backed Sluggy and said, yeah, it's obviously a fake site. This is all fraud. It's not real. Like I say, AI might have got it wrong. But whichever way you frame the question, is it a legitimate site? Is it known for scams? Is It keeps coming back. AI keeps coming back with open court data is genuine, reliable site. It is a compilation of all court records that are happening across the UK. And you've got to ask your question, and many people in my comments have asked this question. Let's turn it around. If Open Court Data UK is bogus and fake, and if someone is putting in totally false information, disinformation, total lies, fabrications about people that have been charged and people that have been taken to court and people that are being, I don't know, highlighted as being in trouble with the law, let's say, how could a site like that possibly still exist without it being taken down, removed immediately for the defamation involved there? This is what doesn't make any sense. If this site is bogus, how can someone running this site get away with naming over and over and over and over again innocent people as being charged and they're not? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. But if you live in Sluggy world, that is exactly what's happening here. Some bogus person is listing name after name after name after name, just making up the name of the court, the place of the court, the date of the court hearing, fake reference number, case reference number. This is all being made up if you believe Melissa, and if you believe Jugglers, and if you believe, of course, Lord Lugworth. I would suggest that it is such an absurd notion to say that this is bogus that any AG member that comes forward now and says Luggy must be right has totally lost their mind and lost all sense of honesty and decency, if any remains in the accident group. But let's see what happens. Let's see if anyone follows Laurie and says, yeah, this looks real, so let us consider if Rockass could be guilty. I would also say that hats off to Sugar Ape. Hats off to AG member Sugar Ape that said a while ago it should be considered that the motive for Jay going up to Masca was to join some kind of sausage party. That was his phrase, a sausage party going on up in the mountains of Masca. Tell you what, Sugar Ape, if I'm right that Steven Rockass has been taken to court over SA, that the charges are of a sexual nature, then boy, does your sausage party idea suddenly look credible in my eyes. There is a pattern of behavior here. Who would dare to say sausage party couldn't have happened? Oh, but one of the people up in Mascot now in court for what looks like a sexual charge. Okay, Sugar Ape, you might be onto something there. Would you like to repeat your theory, Sugar Ape, that this is all about one big sausage party that went wrong? Maybe Debbie and Warren and Zach would appreciate it, Sugar Ape, if you repeated that idea. Do you think they would? Because you are so sensitive to the needs of the family, the wants of the family. Go ahead, Sugar Ape, repeat your theory and see if that goes down well in Oswald Twistle. Let's keep an eye on this, but let's keep pushing as well. Let's keep asking Thomas Wilson, Laurie, Janie, all of them. Is this website Open Court Data UK that lists Steven Rockass charged in court in Wood Green in May of 26? Is it something that looks genuine? Or is Sluggy right? It's all completely made up. Let's find out. More later. Hasta luego. Adios. Hasta la vista. See you soon.